That fateful evening, Iboro sat quietly by the window, watching the streets of Lagos move with life. Cars passed, children laughed, and sellers shouted. But deep in her heart, there was only one silence. Iboro had just arrived at the big mansion yesterday, a mansion owned by Chief Akpan, a rich man known all over their town. She had never seen such a big house before. The tiles were shiny, the chairs looked like gold, but none of it made her smile. Iboro was now married to Etim, Chief Akpan's only son. Etim have never touched Iboro since they got married. He didn't even smile at her. On their wedding night, he left her all alone in the room and went out with his friends. When everyone believed he should be with his new bride, Iboro blinked back her tears as she sat on her bed inside her cozy bedroom. She was lost in deep thoughts as she remembered back in her village her uncle Godwin. He had forced her to agree to marry Etim, Chief Akpan's only son. As he sat with Iboro that evening, in their small apartment in their town in Calabar, Uncle Godwin was sitting close to his wife. Auntie Angela, as Iboro fondly called her, was his uncle's wife. She had been so good to her. She had been a mother to Iboro since Godwin brought her into their home after she lost her parents. Iboro loved her uncle and his wife so much. They have been so kind to her. So that evening, she listened carefully to her uncle. "My daughter, this is a blessing," he said. "Chief Akpan will help us. He will send money to support us. You know we need money to support your siblings. You see, you will live like a queen in his house. He is very wealthy and Etim is his only son. Also, Chief Akpan gave me his words that he would send you to the university. You remember that time I asked you to bring your SSCE result? When he looked through it, he was so impressed. He said that you are special and too smart to waste. So you continue your education is non-negotiable." Iboro scratched her eyes and tried to say something, but swallowed her words back. She did not want to disappoint her uncle and his wife. Uncle Etim was a fisherman and had 5 children. His wife sold vegetables and fresh fruits at the village market. So raising up 5 children and Iboro, especially financing their education, have not been easy. Her uncle made sure she had primary and secondary education that he could afford. So this was a good opportunity that would change their lives forever. Becoming Chief Akpan's in-laws was a great privilege, and that opportunity they would not like to sleep. "Uncle, I will marry Etim. Hence, I will go to the university and live my dream. I will marry him." So Godwin and his wife, we are so happy with Iboro. They thanked her so much. So that same day, Godwin sent message to Chief Akpan that Iboro had finally agreed to marry his son. So quickly, their marriage was fixed. Etim got married to Iboro traditionally and in church. He just wanted to please his father, as his father before now had threatened to cut him off his wealth. And he getting married to Iboro is his only ticket to his inheritance. Chief Akpan have lost his wife many years back and has played the role of a father and mother in Etim's life, which have not been easy for him. Etim lived a wayward life. He partied late into the night and was not interested in his father's business. All he did was drive around the city with his father's cars, drink expensive wines, and eat with his friends in expensive restaurants. This saddened Chief Akpan's heart. He could not see his only son going astray, so he hoped that Etim getting married to Iboro would make him responsible and focused in life. So he was happy that finally his prayers were answered. He had done due diligence searching for a bride for his only son, which he thought was the right thing to do as his father. But what he didn't know was that Etim did not want Iboro. She was not his peck. After their marriage, when they traveled back to Lagos, Etim looked at Iboro as if she was a mistake. He would laugh at her grammar and would say to her boldly, "You can't speak and be like the city girls. You're a village girl. You schooled in the village," he said. "You're from the bush, Iboro, and there's nothing you can do to be like the city girls." These words stabbed Iboro's heart. Still, She tried to please Etim. She brought out her heart to be a good wife to Etim. She cooked the best local dishes for him. She made sure she cleaned their home. This she did with little effort, as Iboro has always been hardworking, and she loved a very clean space, right from when she was still in her uncle's house. Every night, Iboro slept alone on her bed, waiting long into the night for him to return so she could feel his warmth. This she prayed and hoped would happen soon. Sometimes her pillow was filled and soaked in her tears. She was so sad and confused. I did not know how to report Etim to his father. Shifakpan was unaware of Etim's misbehavior. He thought Iboro was having a good time. The whole situation just saddened her heart. She couldn't even call her uncle on the phone and tell her the current situation. Each night, Etim stayed out, and when he returned late at night, when she tried to welcome him and would bring him his dinner, he would ignore her and walk past her into the restroom like she didn't exist. She did not understand why he hated her so much. But deep inside, Iboro promised herself one thing, that she would make her marriage work and that she was not giving up. However, as months passed, Etim's coldness and resentment became more hurtful. One of those days was one fateful weekend. Etim and his friends had visited their home to watch the Europa League finals since their clubs were playing in the finals. So Etim was hosting them in his home. It was also an opportunity for Etim's friends to meet his new bride. This they all had been waiting for. However, when Iboro came to welcome them, she spoke shyly and spoke in few words, counting her words not to make any mistake. Etim's friends praised her beauty. They admired her because indeed Iboro was truly very pretty, though she was shy and very quiet. But her beautiful curves and pretty eyes and smile could still be seen. One of his friends said to him, Etim, your wife is truly beautiful. Wow. Will I eat her beauty? Etim said sadly, as he sat on one of the sofas in his cozy living room. So later that evening, Iboro served them hot afang soup and gari, which Etim's friends complimented her great cooking skills. One of his friends, Adeola, could not hide his excitement. He said to Etim, your wife is indeed a great cook. This afang soup went to Harvard. Bro, you are so lucky to have a beautiful wife and also a great cook. You are enjoying, no? Please stop mocking me, Etim interjected. She can't speak well, he hissed, always saying I is going and he have did the bro. How can I call that one my wife? His friends all busted into laughter. One of his friends named Oliver, who was also proud like Etim, said to them, Guy, where did your father find her? She looks like a village maid. Etim clenched his jaw. He forced me, said I needed to settle down, that I was becoming too wild. So that was how he went and picked her himself and warned me not to say no, else I would lose my inheritance. Deep down Etim's heart, it burned with shame. Etim loved fine girls with makeup, those that walked with straight bone wigs and polished nails, girls who spoke clean Queen's English with phone added, those ones that spoke with their nose closed and smelt like perfume, as if they don't even do number two in the restroom. He resented Iboro. Iboro wore simple clothes and braided her beautiful natural hair. No flashy makeup, no flattery clothes, nothing was special about her. That evening, when Etim left with his friends, Iboro quickly did the dishes and made dinner and served it on the dining table for Etim. She made his favorite bitter leaf soup with pounded yam. This he has requested days back as he did not join his friends to eat the afang soup he made that afternoon. But she waited and waited, and Etim was nowhere. It was finally past midnight when he walked in, noticed. He saw her asleep by the dining table. He pushed the food aside and shouted, Why are you still here? Who asked you to wait? Welcome. I'm so sorry. I did not know when I fell asleep. Iboro had just woke up, scared. I wanted to make sure you ate this food, she said softly. I was worried for you. Eat what, eh? This your local soup. That was how Etim stormed off again and slammed the door. Where are you going to again now? It's already late. It's past midnight, Iboro said calmly as she walked behind him. Thank you, my mother. You know, I didn't know it's late, oh. as he stormed outside their house and drove off in his car. Iboro's heart was broken. It's now almost a year since she got married to Etim. He resented her so much and he was not hiding it, doing all he could to frustrate her. She was almost giving up on her marriage. After all, love is not by force. But whenever she remembered her uncle and his family, Chief Akpan, who took her like his own daughter, she knew this would really hurt him. So she sat back on one of the sofa and cried. Each day it got worse. Etim stopped looking at her. Sometimes he left for 2 nights, especially when Chief Akpan traveled out of the city. The only words that kept her were Chief Akpan's words. When Iboro got married to Etim, Chief Akpan called her into his room. I want you to know that you are my daughter, not just my son's wife. I will help you go to school. I know you are smart. I don't want you to lose hope. I know your husband may have his flaws, but I want you to remain and do all you can to be the best wife to my son. I assure you, I will always stand by your side to support you all the way. So even when Chief Akpan asked her about her marriage, he would always force a smile and tell him that everything was fine. She thought that maybe one day things would really change, but with time she knew Etim did not love her, and that truth broke her heart more than anything else. It was now a year and 6 months since Iboro got married to Etim, and he has still not touched her to consummate their marriage. He either gave her this excuse or that, how he was so busy at the office. Iboro has caught him on several occasions speaking to a woman on the phone, and he would laugh and laugh, gisting with her for a long time, ignoring her, even when they were lying down on their bed. One weekend, Etim had traveled out of Lagos for the wedding of one of his close friends in Warri. She was busy tidying the whole compound and cleaning up the whole place. Chief Akpan watched her from the balcony. She was sweeping the compound early that morning. Her wrapper was tied tightly around her waist, and sweat rolled down her face. She's still here, he whispered to himself, still trying to win my son's heart. Oh Lord, please, help Etim to recognize the gold he has in Iboro. He had witnessed how cold and harsh Etim had been towards Iboro. It was not hidden at all. He knew Iboro was passing through a lot. He hoped and prayed that Etim would soon come to his senses. So he slowly came down to meet Iboro, who was busy cleaning the compound. Good morning, my daughter. Iboro stood up quickly and greeted him with a smile. Good morning, sir. Well done, my daughter. See how clean everywhere is. Iboro blushed. So, Iboro, I've been wanting to ask you, have you resumed school? I still don't have the money complete, sir. Etim have promised to give me the money when he returns from his journey. Chief Akpan sighed deeply. Iboro, why didn't you tell me? I promised your uncle I would help you. I don't break my word. You know what? Hurry up with whatever you are doing. You are starting school today. Hope you have made all the needful inquiries. Yes, sir. Tears filled Iboro's eyes. Thank you, sir. Call me Papa. You are my daughter too. That you should never forget. Don't want you to continue to behave like a stranger in your own house. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes, Papa. Iboro corrected herself immediately. That day, Iboro started attending a nearby university where she enrolled for a distant learning program. She wore second-hand clothes. Etim never bought her new clothes, only bought a few clothes with some of the money Chief Akpan gave her when she wanted to register for school. Meanwhile, Etim was busy chasing girls and going to clubs. One day, he met Iboro on the dining table reading, and he rolled his eyes. We are still doing bush things, he muttered. But Iboro did not utter a word. She continued to go to school, regardless of all the discouragement and maltreatment from Etim. But she was not deterred. Months later, Etim finally brought home a new girl. She was light-skinned, tall. She smelled like perfume. She had sharp nails and long lashes. Iboro welcomed Etim and the young woman, hoping she would soon leave that evening. But to her surprise, the girl stayed that night. And the next morning, Etim called Iboro into their bedroom. Iboro, as you can see, I have a special visitor. She is so special to me and I don't want to see you close to her. Well, do I even need to remind you that she is not your class, so you cannot stand her? She'll be spending the weekend with us, so I would want you to play the best host to her. You know you want both of us to have peace in this house. Else, you will see the other side of me. Iboro did not flinch. She only nodded and was about to walk back to the kitchen when she was doing the dishes when Etim called her back. And before I forget, you see this bedroom? Stay clear. She will be sleeping here with me. Ah, Etim, what is happening? And another woman sleeping on our matrimonial bed. Iboro said sadly. She was almost crying, but she forced herself not to drop a tear. You and Ruth's matrimonial bed. Since we got married, has both of us laid on this bed to do what husband and wife should do on this bed. Or stop deceiving yourself. This bedroom is the same like the visitor's bedroom. No special thing here. This time, Iboro was very hot. Quietly walked back to the kitchen, cleaning her eyes. If Akwan have traveled out of the country for his medical checkup and would be returning back in a few weeks. Tonya spent the weekend in their home. Etim and Tonya would eat lunch and leave the plates on the dining table for Iboro to clear and wash. The 2 days Tonya spent in their home, Iboro had to make her special dishes. She did without complaint just to please Etim, his concubine. Etim have turned her into a glorified housemaid in her own matrimonial home. They slept in their bedroom while Iboro slept on one of the couches in the living room. 3 weeks later, Chief Akpan finally arrived back to the country. Iboro was so happy to see him. She made him his favorite meal. As Chief Akpan ate his food, he noticed Iboro's eyes were red. She looked sad, although she was trying to smile, but he knew deep down that Iboro was not fine. After his meal, he thanked her, so when she came to clear the dishes, he said to her, Iboro, I want you to sit down. So Iboro quietly sat, avoiding Chief Akpan's eyes. He fixed his eyes on hers. My daughter, please tell me the truth. Did Etim hit you when I was not around? Don't lie to me. Please, what happened in my absence? I want to know. Iboro was silent for some time. Sir, all is well. But you look sad and I notice your eyes are red. Oh, that's... Something fell into my eyes, sir. Iboro lied. Okay, if you insist you are fine, no problems. So he brought out some naira notes and gave to Iboro. Please, use this and get yourself some drugs to clear up that redness in your eyes. Yes, sir. I will, sir. Iboro collected the money from Chief Akpan and hurriedly cleared the dining table. Chief Akpan bought Iboro some beautiful dresses, beautiful pairs of sandals and handbags. When she looked at the shoes, she wondered how he knew exact shoe size. So she remembered that before Chief Akpan traveled, asked her for her shoe size. She was so happy. The beautiful gifts. The next day, when Chief Akpan returned from his office, he had a brief meeting with Etim and Iboro in his living room. My children, I want both of you to know that children are gifts from God. Even though I want a grandchild, which is my greatest heart desire, but I cannot question God. He will surely give you children. Iboro, please continue to respect your husband. 18. Though you were a child when your mother died, but you can still remember how I adored your late mother. May her gentle soul rest in peace. I refused to get married since she left us because I wanted to continue to honor and keep her memory in my heart. You know I loved her so much until death snatched her away from me. Iboro here is a very good woman. She loves you. I can see it. And I want you to come to love and respect her. I know she may not be your spec, but you can look deep. See her beautiful soul. Iboro here is pure gold that has not been tampered. I hope you keep these words in your hearts. Etim sat quietly. And after some time, he said to his father, Dad, I have something to say. So Chief Akpan turned to Iboro. My daughter, you cannot leave now. Iboro thanked Chief Akpan for his kind words and quickly went back to their flat. Dad, I don't know how you will feel. It's not to disrespect you, but I don't love Iboro. She's not my spec. She's not exposed. She's timid and not my class. Dad, I cannot continue to pretend. I only married Iboro to make you happy and not to disrespect you. But I'm choking. I'm just surviving in this marriage. What? Tim, what did you just say? Fapan was sad and surprised. Dad, she's not for me. Tim snapped. She doesn't belong in this heart. Dad, I already have a woman that fits all my specifications. My dream woman. Her name is Tonya. Dad, you need to see her. She is very beautiful and classy. Very fresh, Dad. Etim said excitedly. How dare you say Those disrespectful words about your wife, Iboro. Etim, are you okay? You have the effrontery, the nerve to say this to my face. Chief Akpan's face was pale. Etim, all I know is that Iboro is your wife, and she's staying. She's your only wife. Tonya, or whatever you call her name, is a husband snatcher, a concubine. I do not approve of her. Nonsense. Chief Akpan slowly got up, looking so sad and pained. He was so concerned for Iboro. Innocent Iboro. He had thought Etim would change after getting married to Iboro, but he was so disappointed with Etim's choices in life. A few weeks later, Etim brought in Tonya into their home. He chased Iboro out of their bedroom and moved Tonya in. Iboro packed her few clothes and slept in the boys' quarters. Tonya became the madam in the house. She started changing everything, the chairs, the curtains. She introduced new foods. She made Etim stop eating those local soups he loved so much. Iboro's food insulted her openly. Tonya was a bad cook. She could not compete with Iboro. All this have happened in the absence of Chief Akpan. When he returned back from his journey, he brought in Iboro into the main house. He tried to talk sense into Etim, but all fell on deaf ears. Etim's heart was made up. Chief Akpan's heart broke each time he saw Iboro sitting all alone by herself, her eyes red from crying. As months passed, Iboro was gradually losing herself. She easily forgot things and would sweep the compound like countless times, picking up the flowers and leaves that fell off the trees just to keep her mind busy. However, things became more sour between Etim and his father. Etim one evening was relaxing with Tonya in the garden. They were drinking a bottle of wine and we are just chilling out that evening. Etim earlier on had asked Iboro to get them some fruit from a nearby grocery store. But because Iboro took some time and did not come back early enough, Etim got so mad at her. He screamed at her, almost pouring his glass of wine on her face, calling her several names. See, Iboro, I can see you are becoming a nuisance here. Well, I don't want to see you here again. Leave this house. Iboro was already crying. She was shaking and shocked. Etim, where do you want me to go now? Please now. Did I do? He asked in tears. Anywhere. You are not my wife. You are nothing to me. You are just wasting your time. Tonya was laughing as she clapped her hands. Good. Finally, good for nothing woman will leave this house. Bushwoman. Chief Akpan rightly walked in to the scene. He had just returned from a meeting and he heard everything. You almost poured a glass of wine on your wife, as if that is not enough. You say all these harsh and cruel words to her. Tim, I'm highly disappointed in you. Is this how you treat a woman? Your wife? She is not my wife, Etim backed. Well, since you cannot respect me, you have to leave this house today. Iboro is going nowhere. She stays. Iboro was shaking. Sir, Daddy, please, let me get my things. I'll be fine. As she was about to enter the house, Chief Akpan said to Etim, you have done nothing but cause me pain. How can you treat your wife, someone's daughter, that is in your care, in such manner, and you call yourself a man? You are indeed a disgrace to manhood. Iboro, go and sit down. Let me know if Etim wants to drag this house with me. Let him take his concubine out of my house. After all, he's man enough to have his. If he sees me come to his house, then he can do to me whatever he wants. Chief Akpan said desperately. That evening, Etim moved out with Tonya. They moved to one of the hotels, a highbrow area of Lagos. And in a few weeks' time, they moved to an apartment, Lekki. That was Tonya's choice. She wanted to be among the high class in society. Years passed quickly. Iboro finished school and became one of the directors in Chief Akpan's company. She dressed smartly, spoke clearly, exuded this great confidence. She handled big meetings for Chief Akpan. She no longer swept floors. She gave orders now. She had a cook and a housekeeper. Meanwhile, Tonya started showing her real colors. She took money without asking Etim. She would insult him whenever they had any little arguments. She refused to clean or cook. They always ate out and employed the services of a housekeeper. When things became financially tough for Etim, he could not go back to his father. He had lost the boldness to face him. He has not talked with his father for over 5 years now, since he left with Tonya. He has been applying to many companies to get a job, but all his efforts were fertile. When Tonya saw that Etim could no longer finance her lavish lifestyle, he was also suggesting if they could move to a satellite town in Lagos where he could afford the rent. This turned Tonya off. She started spending more time outside their home. Sometimes she would leave the house for days with her friends, dancing in the club and partying with sugar daddies and bad boys in town. All of Etim's pleas to her to change was just a waste of time. Sometimes Etim knelt down, pleading with her not to leave him whenever she threatened to move out of his house. Baby, please, I'm really trying to get a job for us. I know I'm not meeting up with your demands, but you have to understand. I've tried so much for you. Not me now. Okay, don't worry. I'll make it up to you once I get a job. You know you are all that I got left. But one of these days, Tonya busted into laughter. Etim, did I send you? Did I force you? You left a golden wife for me. You know how expensive I am. Truth is that you're not even half the man your father is. Spoiled child. Soon, Tonya packed her bags and left with Etim's car and money when he traveled out of the city. The little money they were using to keep body and soul together, it was left in their joint account. Etim tried to find her, but she blocked his number. Etim was devastated. He was left with nothing. He later moved to a smaller apartment. He later got a job to wash cars in a car wash stand in the afternoon. He was sleeping on the bench. There was not much customers that day when his boss, Oga Ebuka, shouted his name. Etim, come and wash this car. Ola has gone to buy food for me. So Etim sluggishly stood up, stretching himself and walking to the car. When he was done washing the car, he went to meet the owner of the car to tell the customer that he was done. And to his shock, he was standing face to face with Iboro. She looked so different. She was gorgeously dressed, exuded this great confidence. She smelt very rich. His Etim could not understand. Iboro, what are you doing here? His eyes widened in shock. But Iboro did not say a word to him. She ignored him and walked up to Etim's boss, paid, and walked back to her car and drove off. Etim's jaw dropped. Iboro, he's changed. What happened? He stood at that spot, frozen in shock. After Tonya left Etim, his life became very hard. He had no money, no one to help him. All his friends had left him. He couldn't go back to his father, who swore never to see him. Etim sat on a bench, weeping. He felt very sad and lonely. He could not understand what he did to himself. That night when he got home, he could not sleep. He was thinking about Iboro. At first, he hated her because she was not like the women he wanted. She spoke with simple words and had little education. But now, he was the one who was foolish and poor because Iboro looked very rich. She has really changed. However, 5 months later, Etim, having had a deep thought, decided to go back to his father's house. This was a hard decision he had taken, but he was left with no choice. He wanted Iboro back. Thank God she was still living with her father, as he was told. She did not go back to the village, so he was so grateful to his father. That fateful afternoon, when he arrived at his father's house, the house looked different. It was luxurious, smelled so fresh. When Iboro walked in, she was no longer timid. She was bold, very beautiful. She was dressed nicely and walked like a queen. She was holding a small baby in her arms. He was sitting on the sofa, looking like a stranger that lost his way. He was nervous, afraid of his father's reaction when he sees him. Iboro quietly sat down on one of the sofa. Your dad will soon be here, she said softly. Iboro, please, I'm very sorry for everything. Please forgive me. But before he could end those words, Chief Akpam came out and said, Etim, what are you saying to my wife? Can't you see that she's carrying my child? Etim was stunned. He could not believe what he just heard. He wanted to say something, but no sound was coming out. He bursted out into loud tears. Iboro looked at him. She stood up, held her baby closer, and was about to walk out. She came close to Etim. Etim, your father is the best thing that happened to me. His love for me is pure and genuine. He respects me, does not treat me like a child, but his wife. See, Etim, you lost your chance when you chose that's your concubine over me. It was through that rejection I found myself and self-worth. Your dad, he recognized who I was, helped me find myself, my true worth. Etim continued to cry. He sat there, in empty. He realized he had lost everything because he was proud and cruel to Iboro. That day, he learned a hard lesson. Sometimes people who seem weak become the strongest. It's okay, you can now go inside, Chief Akpan said calmly to Iboro. Etim, why are you here? I know your spec has finally left you. Yes, Dad. Donna is a devil. She left me with nothing, Etim said, weeping. I'm broken. Well, son, that's what you chose. You chose a fake gold over real gold. I've always wanted flashy things that doesn't last. And you fell for that of a girl that abandoned and rejected the real gold. Well, so grateful I made the choice. Please, leave my house now. Since you left, I have no regrets. I have been better off without you. Tim, for the last time, let me warn you. I don't want to see you close to my house or my office. The next time, I will call the police on you. Leave my house now. That was how Etim walked out of his father's mansion in shame and regret. Meanwhile, Iboro was blooming. She later gave birth to a baby boy. Chief Akpan named him Itoro. The child had Iboro's beautiful smile and Chief Akpan's eyes. Chief Akpan was so happy and thankful to God. He celebrated the birth of his son in a grand style. Iboro became the GMD of Chief Akpan's holdings. She had 2 masters and other certifications. She managed Chief Akpan's company so well, taking it to a greater height, making it more successful. Magazines wrote about her success. She was indeed an inspiration to younger women who had been in her situation before her marriage to Chief Akpan. During one of the interviews on a regular show on TV, Iboro was asked by the presenter about her marriage to her ex-husband's father, her father-in-law. And she replied to her, I will choose my father-in-law a million times over my ex-husband. You see, my father-in-law picked me up when my ex-husband thought he has given me the final blow that would discomfit me. My father-in-law was the angel God brought my way, that I never knew would bring so much joy and laughter to my life. I forever would remain indebted to him. Etim sat on his small bed in his tiny one-room apartment, tears flowing down his cheeks. As he watched Iboro on the TV, he remembered the day he first saw her. She was quiet and naive, but now she was powerful and respected in the society. She was so elegant, intelligent, and classy. They were no longer in the same level. Iboro lived in joy. She had found love, peace, and purpose. In Chief Akpan, she no longer feared. Chief Akpan got her back, loved and respected her so much. Iboro, now in the same city where she was once mocked by her ex-husband, she now ruled, and though her beginning was bitter and small, she thanked God that her ending was sweet. Thank you so much for watching this story. Please, share your thoughts in the comment section. The lessons you have learned from this story. Don't forget to give this story a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe for more beautiful stories. And until I bring to you another beautiful story, stay blessed and bye.